Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today. Well, after the 2 days of a great run up in the markets yesterday, we did see some profits being taken off and the Nifty gave up the early morning gains, ended the session marginally lower after a range-bound trade, snapping the 2-day rally for sure. And of course, we did see the Nifty ending towards the lower end of the trading range of the whole day. And as of today, we are again going to be seeing a cautious start for both the Sensex and the Nifty on the back of the mixed global cues that we've been getting. GIFT Nifty, of course, is indicating just about a 10 points higher, opening at 24,228, suggesting a flat to positive start for the Indian markets. Meanwhile, there'll be several other news flows that will be keeping the markets on the edge. NTPC Green IPO will be listing, so that's going to be important to watch out for. Of course, we'll be getting the second estimate of the US Q3 GDP growth rate. That again will set the mood for how the global markets will take shape from here. The core PCE price index for October, the initial jobless claims for the week ended November 23rd, all from the US will all be important to watch out for. Of course, the market participants will be analyzing the FOMC minutes to be released. And the minutes revealed that the Federal Reserve officials are optimistic about easing inflation and a resilient labor market, providing some room for further interest rate cuts, though at a measured pace right there. So while the inflation levels remain above Fed's 2% target, policymakers have expressed confidence in the current trajectory. They also indicated potential rate cuts in the future without specifying the magnitude or the timing right there. Of course, globally, what else will be important is the ceasefire that's been announced between Israel and Iran-backed Hezbollah. This will now take effect from 4 a.m. That's the local time. And of course, both sides have accepted that an agreement that was brokered by the US and France as well. President Joe Biden had also made an announcement last night at the White House shortly after Israel's Security Cabinet approved the agreement as a 10-1 vote. Israel will now gradually withdraw its forces over 60 days as Lebanon's army takes control of the territory near the border with Israel to ensure that Hezbollah does not rebuild its infrastructure there right now. So that is a bit positive. So following this, we've actually seen on the Wall Street Dow Jones advancing 0.3% to close again at a record high level. The S&P 500 climbing 0.5% to finish again at record high levels of 6,021. The Nasdaq also rose by about 0.6% in trade. So across the board on the Wall Street, it was a positive opening. Following this, like I said, Asian markets have opened on a mixed note, tracking the Wall Street. S&P 500 and Dow Jones, we did see how they hit intraday highs and those record levels right there. Following this, ASX 200 gained about 0.4%. Nikkei, however, fell by about 0.7% in trade. The Kospi was also lower in trade, while the Chinese indices, they were up by about 0.3% odd or so. The Brent crude levels have been now trading in a lower range, about $72.3 a barrel. And what we've also seen is that spot coal was also trading about 0.16% down at $26-28 an ounce right there. As far as the flows are concerned, again, a very important factor that all of us need to keep a track of. They have been net buyers for the second consecutive session on Tuesday as well. The domestic institutional investors remain net sellers for the second day too. So foreign portfolio investors net bought stocks worth about 1157 odd crores, while the DIs were net sellers to the tune of 1910 odd crore rupees right there. This is as far as the data that we have. Of course, apart from this, a whole host of other important data will be important to watch out for in terms of the stocks that are coming in for all of you to really track. So Adani Group companies will be in focus another day. Yesterday, they all fell lower. This was after rating agencies Fitch and Moody's have taken rating actions against various group entities right there, slashing their outlook on some of them as well. This is following US indictment of Gautam Adani and certain other board members right there. So therefore, we will again look at how Adani Group companies will be looking at. I point Green will be the most important one to watch out for. But again, from the listed space, keep an eye out on Vedanta. They are set to invest $2 billion to build copper processing facilities in Saudi Arabia. The firm will build a new smelter and refinery with a capacity of 400,000 metric tons per year. And they also plan to set up a facility to produce as much as 300,000 tons per year of copper rods, a key raw material for the electric cables right there. And this is effectively a move to shift the production to Saudi Arabia after the setback the company has faced with its facility in Tuticorin right there. IT stocks will be in focus. Remember, they were the outperformers yesterday, so they will be in focus again in trade today as well. IT major Wipro has bagged a 4-year deal with Marelli, which is an Italian automotive parts manufacturer. The value of the deal is $100 million. So that's also going to be a 4-year project extension. We'll keep an eye out on how Wipro really reacts to this one. Apart from this, Infosys will be in focus. It will be paying 90% of the variable pay to its employees for the second quarter of this fiscal. This comes after the company beat market expectations for the quarter and also raised its full year guidance as well. So we'll keep an eye out on the entire pack, of course, with all these moves right there. M&M will be in focus. It's unveiled a first pure electric SUV ahead of its mass market rivals like Maruti Suzuki and Hyundai Motor India. That's going to be an important one to watch. Competition clearly heating up right there. Electra Green Tech, the company has given renewable energy certificate guarantee for 2,500 crores of loans to the promoters arm. That's also important. Kotak Mahindra Bank will be in focus. CCI has approved the acquisition of the personal loans business of Standard Chartered Bank in India branch by Kotak Mahindra Bank. So that's also going to be important. So we have all these stocks that you could keep an eye out on, but we have our guest also on board. So let's quickly welcome Mr. Kiran Jani, Head of Technical Research at Jainam Broking now, who's joining in. Kiran, warm welcome. Good morning to you. Good to have you with us. Well, 2 days of a rally, and yesterday there were, some profits that were taken off. What is it that you expect for the Indian markets today? Do you think there are enough and more signs for a pullback, or will we see some consolidation play out today?
Very good morning, everyone. So after a month corrections, we have seen 2 very good days where market has performing very well. Now, yesterday's performance, if we check out, the broader indices were into the red zone. But if you look at the market breadth, across the market, the mid cap and small cap stocks were cheering continuously as it was happening. So overall, our expectation is that broader indices probably will be into the narrow zone only, but stock-specific movement will be continue. So we are very much optimistic about this reversal, and we hoping that in upcoming month we are again going to test our all-time high. So prominently, if we discuss about Nifty levels, so any dips towards 24,000 to 23,700 would be the great opportunity. Keep a very strict stop loss positionally 23,500, and we are expecting by December end we can again retest our 25,000 level on Nifty. Coming to the Bank Nifty is very strong than the Nifty. At current market or any dips towards 51,800 would be the opportunity to enter, and just look at the level of 52,500. This is the fifth attempt market is trying to cross 52,500 level. Once 52,500 level cross, then we can expect a sharp rally in Bank Nifty. So we are very much aggressively long on Bank Nifty, and we are asking our clients to go long on Bank Nifty also. So keep an eye on Bank Nifty. 52,500 is the level of make or break. After that, crossing that level, we can expect 55,000 kind of a target on Bank Nifty.
Got that. So that's the Nifty and the Nifty Bank view. We also are now joined by Mr. Gaurang Shah. He's the Senior Vice President at Geojit Financial Services. Warm welcome to you, Gaurang, and good to have you with us on the show. Well, first up, I'd like to understand from you, how are you looking at this change of heart within the FIIs that we are seeing from the last 2 days? Do you think it is here for them to stay now back in India after a whole lot of exodus that we've seen over the last 6 weeks odd or so? Are they going to be back for good?
Well, I'm deeply in love with them. What do I say, Sakshi? Good morning to all of you all. Because they are the ones who make me excite about the market, and they are the ones who give us stocks to invest in at lower level, the way they sold for the entire month of October and whatever we've seen of November. So I wish them best. I wish them well. I don't have anything to say to them. I might as well spend my time in identifying opportunities and stocks while they wonder what they want to do. So I wish them well and all the best. And it really doesn't matter, to be very honest. We've been in discussion even the entire month of October and whatever we've seen in the November and possibly going into the future, Sakshi. We are, and especially me, if you ask me personally, I'll maintain my stance that don't try to ape or replicate what FIs are doing, because you'll be wasting your time, energy, and more importantly, your wealth. Because you will only come to know what they are doing possibly in the evening after they have done it or the next day. So don't try to replicate them. Use your own wisdom, and I'm sure you are quite capable of doing it. Just because they are selling, you should sell, or just they are buying, you should buy is not the way you need to, approach the market. And I mean, if not here, then where are they going to go? And I often say one thing, Sakshi, that
Sure.
you can hate us, but you cannot ignore us. And I'll maintain that.
Wonderful. You can hate us, but you cannot ignore us. The sooner that you understand, and that will be beneficial. And that's how we see FIs now returning. Let's see if it continues. Kiran, to you, very quickly, a minute to go before pre-open. Any two stock ideas that you have kept on your radar today?
Yes, two stock ideas we would like to share. First is the Ashok Leyland. If you look at its daily chart, inverted head and shoulder pattern breakout. So we would like to go long on Ashok Leyland with the target of 245 with the stop loss of 224. And another stock is ITC. ITC has given a breakout from the falling channel. So any dips toward 475 would be the opportunity for the target of 495 and with the stop loss of 469. So Ashok Leyland and ITC would be the preferred pick.
Ashok Leyland and ITC, two stock ideas that Kiran has right now shared with all our viewers right here. Anything, Gaurang, from your side that has come up fresh in the recent times where you have kept a radar on any newer stock that you'd like to add to the list that you've been sharing?
Yeah, so I think there are a couple of them, Sakshi. Symphony is one on which we had a sell recommendation earlier. We have changed our stance and we have converted it to a buy. Same with Havells India. I think these are all your consumer durable white good appliances name on which we are quite positive.
Symphony and Havells, keep an eye out on these two. All right, finally, we have some ticks coming in on the pre-open, 271 points higher. That's a brilliant start in the pre-open. Let's hope that it stays a percent higher and much higher than what the Gift Nifty was indicating. 24,456 right now. It's a sharp 250 point offer jump on the Nifty. Let's hope it stays, but let's see what is contributing to this sharp move in the pre-open. Let's look at the IT stocks. They have been the outperformers clearly, and there is a sense that again they will be in focus in trade today right here. So stocks like Infosys, for instance, which is also in the news. I read out the variable pay news as well. Wipro, for instance, that's extended its partnership with Marelli, and therefore you see these two stocks are going to be the first ones that we will track from the IT pack. And of course, we will be looking at HDFC Bank that hit its record high just day before, and we will be looking at several other top banks like ICICI and Axis as well. So let's see how so the Nifty is just about 0.8% higher now, 24,369, quickly coming down sharply from that over 1% gains that we were seeing. HDFC Bank is indicative of a positive start, 3% higher at 1839. If it opens at this level, this is going to be the record high level for HDFC Bank yet again. Let's see how it opens in trade today. Let's also look at, ticks haven't started on ICICI Bank right now, but IndusInd Bank, there's a 0.25% start. On Infosys, it's a flattish with a positive bias start at 1924 odd levels. Let's also pull up a Wipro to see how that one is also reacting in trade today. And then let's also pull up, yes, about 0.8% higher. Let's also pull up TCS for that matter to see how the other big heavyweight is also moving in trade today. Flattish trade at this point, starting hasn't happened right there. But let's also look at Reliance Industries that has been slowly and gradually pulling up, and brokerage houses have been penciling in higher targets, 1297 for this one, about a 0.1% uptick for Reliance Industries. But let's also look at the Adani Group stocks and see how those are moving. Yesterday, again, after a day's break, we all saw how the Adani Group stocks fell under pressure because the rating agencies have been now coming out with the, slashed ratings on these and revised outlook on the negative side for some of the group companies. Adani Energy is opening about 0.6% lower in the pre-opening trade. Let's also look at Adani Green. Adani Enterprises, however, is indicative of a positive start in the pre-open, at least 2.3% up right now. Let's look at some of the others. Adani Green, flattish with the negative bias trade. The Nifty, meanwhile, has slipped into the red, viewers. Keep an eye out on that. 24,193. Swiftly, the gains have been taken out in the pre-open space. Adani Ports down by about 0.9% order. So, okay, let's get back to the conversation with our guests right now. Gaurang, Adani Group is something that I wanted to just discuss yet again with you, although I do know that you do not have a coverage on the entire space right there. But with the developments coming on an everyday basis, investor partners coming out with concerns that they don't want to immediately go ahead with all the planned investments in future. There are rating agencies that are downgrading some of the group stocks right there. Of course, the developments in the US courts will continue the legal proceedings. Is it best to stay away till the time dust settles from this entire pack right now for retail investors?
So, Sakshi, I think we were discussing in the morning of the day
Yes.
after the news came out. Uh, and I mentioned that, in situations like this, and this is not the first time, not very long ago, we had a similar situation with the same group with respect
Yeah.
to Heidelberg. Uh, so, wisdom tells you that, in hurry, I mean, not only at any group of companies, I think you need to be prudent and you need to have discipline when you are approaching stock market as an investment asset class. You don't need to hurry in anything. You need to be rational and you need to be a level-headed. Uh, of course, I'm not saying that you should jump onto the bandwagon and ape what other people are doing. You should use your own wisdom. You should look at your risk appetite and you should understand what the situation is all about. And like you mentioned, the news is not a full stop. Every day there is some development or the other, either for the good or for the bad. And we have the similar kind of reaction coming in Adani group of companies. So, like I mentioned earlier, as a disclosure, ACC and Ambuja are the two stocks on which we have coverage. We are maintaining a hold accumulate stance, and we believe that like earlier time, this time also the dust should settle down. Mind you, there are accusations. It is not that they have been uh, you know guilty. They have been proven guilty. So there will, and what the Adani group of companies and the respective management has said is that they will not leave a single stone unturned when it comes to the judicial aspect and the law of the land is concerned. So my sense is that I mean, I won't comment on other companies, but yeah, ACC and Ambuja is something that we are still maintaining our stance. Rest of the group, well, I would say that there are some strong fundamental companies in the group which have done well despite of the headwinds that they have faced in the past and the situation that they are in currently.
Former Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi is to address the media shortly to talk about, the entire issue at the US SEC. And he is going to be briefing the media as to what are the findings of the allegations right there. So we'll keep an eye out on that, and that will be played as well on our platform. So don't miss out on that. It's going to be an important briefing, which will give you an idea as to what have been the findings from the Indian standpoint as well. Okay, let's quickly get Kiran on board. Kiran, we are seeing a very, very volatile start right now on the Nifty at least. Where do you think it will be safe to trade today?
So as we discussed our large cap stocks also. So looking at setup, we definitely would like to go with the large cap stocks. Side Ashok Leyland and the stock we discussed, ITC. Another stock which we would like to highlight on auto sector side only, that is a Hero MotoCorp. If you look at the daily price chart on Hero MotoCorp, it has trading above its 20 days moving average after a month. Apart from that, we are seeing a falling channel breakout is also there. Stock were trading into the extreme oversold territory and the bounce is very considerable. If you look at the intraday charts, inverted head and shoulder pattern is also getting breakout. So looks very promising. 4838 something kind of a close. One can go long at current market price or any dips towards 4800 would be the opportunity to accumulate this particular stock. 4800, and looking at overall chart pattern, definitely one can look for the target of 5200. So overall auto sector stock specific, we would like to go long as of now.
in as far as the pre-open trade is concerned. 24,200 is with us in the pre-opening trade. Flattish with a positive bias of an up move is what we see on the Nifty, 10 points higher. The sectors that could be looking up today are autos, a reversal from yesterday, about half odd percent of an uptick is what is being indicative of right now. Broader markets could again be in focus. Small caps especially 3/10% higher. Oil and gas, metals, PSU banks and FMCG. Also slight gains coming in on IT right now is something that we should be watching out for. On the Nifty, we have Coal India, BPCL, M&M, NTPC, these kind of stocks that could be holding up in the positive zone. We'll come back to how the markets open at 9:15, but let's discuss some more aspects right there. Gaurang, I wanted to discuss the IT space specifically with you. The outperformance is continuing, both in the large caps as well as the mid caps, which are performing right here. There is this increasing, talk about how Trump administration could additionally be beneficial for the IT space as a whole. But at the same time, one has to keep an eye out on what really happens to the immigration rules that are there. And, in case he comes out with any negative, he's already started to talk about tariffs on his neighbors like, Mexico and Canada so far. So we're going to be looking at both standpoints right there. From the IT space perspective, how are you advising investors to go forward with it?
Sakshi, I think even when the entire world was telling to stay away from IT about 3 years back, correct me if I'm wrong, when the environment was not so conducive for the IT sector and numbers were disappointing, so on and so forth. So valuation had become very attractive. From that, even before that particular time, during this particular period of recovery, and as we speak, we remain positive on the IT pack. We are quite optimistic about the recovery. Yeah, it's a different thing. Problem with world leaders when it comes to election, they say a lot of things. And once they have taken the control of the respective chair, it remains to be seen how much they implement at ground reality. And with Mr. Donald Trump, I think we have to leave it to his wisdom and hope that the wisdom works well for the country and for the rest of the world. He's been saying a lot of things, even with respect to Iran and Israel, go and bombard the nuclear facility, etc., etc. So, we'll just have to wait and watch as to what he does. It is still some time, but I hope wisdom prevails upon the respective leader.
And within the IT pack, where would you continue to be positive and deploy fresh funds as well even now?
Also, Sakshi, I think I would say that you need to be across the board. Frontline, mid cap, and small cap. We have coverage or not? Let me give a disclosure.
Okay.
So I'll give you 2 names from the large cap, 2 from the mid, and 2 from the small universe.
Sure.
So large cap, excuse me, beg your pardon. TCS and Tech Mahindra. Mid cap, LTI, Mindtree, Coforge. In the small cap universe, you can look at KPIT Tech and Science Limited or Tata Elxsi.
Okay, got that. So there you have, viewers, some of the stocks across the board in case you're looking at building that IT portfolio for yourself. Some of the stocks across large, mid and small caps have been discussed by Gaurang right here. Do note them down: TCS, Tech Mahindra, LTI, Mindtree, Coforge, KPIT Tech, Scient names as well. So we'll keep an eye out on all these names right there within the IT pack. Apart from this, Gaurang, also wanted to get a sense with respect to the pharma space. That's the other export-oriented space that was seen as one of the big beneficiaries that could be in the Trump administration. What is the sense that you're getting right here? We are seeing diagnostic space perform right here. We're also seeing some momentary build-up coming in on stocks like, say, a Biocon or a Cipla in the interim, or a Sun Pharma for that instance right here. How should one's approach be towards the pharma space right now after the recent run-up has already played out too?
So our sense is that both IT and pharma will do well with the kind of global exposure that the respective sector and the companies associated with the sector is concerned. So here also, we have coverage on large cap, mid cap. And I would also request one thing, Sakshi, for all your viewers, is then don't look at pharma as a sector in isolation. You should also look at diagnosis as well as healthcare, that is hospital. Because according to my understanding, these are all interconnected with each other. And even the diagnostic sector as well as healthcare, that is hospital, has done well. Take the looks of Apollo Hospital, Narayan Rudalaya. I think yesterday Fortis was in spotlight.
Yeah.
So we have Sun Pharma, Cipla, Dr. Reddy's, Divi's in the large cap universe. In the mid cap, we like Zydus Life, Zydus Wellness, Natco Pharma, Orbindo Pharma, Glen Pharma are some of the other names that we are positive on. Let me tell you one more thing, Sakshi. I think the entire, outsourcing companies, that is CDMOs, contract manufacturing and development companies, which have a huge potential with the kind of exposure that they have in the international market, they are also likely to do well.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as the entire pharma pack and the preferences right there lie. Let's get Kiran on board as well. Kiran, between the IT and the pharma spaces, any key stocks on the trading perspective that you'd like to highlight?
Sorry, pardon me.
IT and pharma stocks, where would you keep your preference for trading's perspective, particularly within these two sectors?
So within two sector, IT would looks very promising. Recently, whatever the rally we have seen in IT, it's collective rally from mid cap and large cap, both the IT stocks. Previously, we have seen that the large cap IT was not performing, but the mid cap IT was performing. But as of now, you look at Wipro, you look at Infosys, you look at TCS, all chart patterns look very much promising. So as of now, at even the current market price, we would like to go long on Infosys. Looking at daily price chart, it has given a breakout from its inverted head and shoulder pattern, and momentum indicator is also getting back into the bullish zone after a long time. So the chart patterns look very promising. Any dips towards 1900 or 1880 would be the great opportunity. We would like to go long, and we are expecting price target of 21, 2200 in upcoming time. Another stock which were on our radar and which is still we are recommending to buy to our client, that is in Wipro. If you look at the Wipro price chart, it is a ascending triangle pattern, breakout is there. Overall chart pattern, if you look, it's promising. One can go long at current market price with the strict stop loss below 570, and we are expecting price target of 640, 650 in upcoming time.
Okay, got that. Well, there are some flashes coming in. Okay, let's look at first the market opening. 24,172 is where we have opened as far as the Nifty is concerned, 20 points lower in trade. Most of the sectors have actually slipped. Banks have slipped lower in trade. The Nifty bank opening about 0.2% lower. The private banks down by 0.2% as well. We also have the PSU banks, IT, broader markets, metals under pressure. Only autos, small caps, and the Nifty next 50 names remain in the positive right at the open. Top movers on the Nifty are M&M, 2% higher. Remember, after that fresh outlook on the ESUV space. Well, Coal India is another one that's also got some upgrades from the brokerage houses. BPCL, NTPC and Adani Enterprises about 0.5% higher in trade. So about 10-15 stocks in the Nifty that are opening in the positive zone. What's not doing well is Bharti Airtel. That's down by 1.2%. Adani Ports is slipping by 1%. Ultratech Cement, Cipla, Tata Steel, Axis Bank are the top losers on the Nifty. Let's look at the broader markets to see where the pressure is building up. There are several stocks that are actually down in the red, but let's actually look at, so Sky Gold is seeing some profit booking after those days of sharp run up, but let's actually look at the winners at this point in time. And see if there are any other names that we'd like to point out. GMR Power, McLeod Russell. You have very, very small names that are actually doing well at the Starbros Auto, for that instance. Landmark Property for the second day in a row. Tollins Tires are another one. Very few and far between stocks that you could name in the broader markets. The markets are turning, definitely under pressure. Let's look at the Nifty next 50 names then. Zomato is opening higher in trade by about 0.3% at 281. Siemens is positive, 2.8% higher. Macrotech again from the real estate pack is up. JSW's Energy, LTI Mindtree, HAL, those are the stocks that are still holding up in trade. Let's look at the banking names then. Within the NBFCs, there is some gain that's coming in strongly. You have 361 WAM, that's up 3.5% higher. Then you have stocks like Muthoot Capital, 1.5% up. GIC Housing, Pesalo Digital, Aptus Value Housing. These are all the stocks that are opening higher in trade. Within the PSU banks, you have Indian Overseas Bank, Canara Bank, Bank of Maharashtra, Bank of Baroda. Bank of India as some of the stocks that are opening up. Within the private sector banks, you have HDFC at 1791 right now, 0.3% higher. Kotak Mahindra Bank about 0.4% up in trade. So small gains coming in. Let's look at the IT names that are now picking up some pace, about 0.25% ups. It's swiftly improved. Wipro is opening about 1% higher. Tech Mahindra about 0.6% up. Emphasis, HCL Technologies about 0.5% each. Infosys, LTI, Mindtree and Persistent as the other movers on the positive side. Within the PSUs, the index is up by 0.4%. You have Coal India, HPCL, HAL, NTPC, BPCL, BEL, NHPC and Concor kind of names that are actually doing well right now. Within the auto pack now you have M&M and Tata Motors both among the top movers as far as the Nifty is concerned. So the auto names are definitely driving in a faster lane. But let's pull up all the Adani Group stocks. So Adani Enterprises is opening higher, but Adani Ports is down in trade. Let's look at the two more vulnerable stocks that we have seen in the last few days. Adani Green and Adani Energy Solutions, how those are opening, about 1.4% lower for Adani Green, 886. And then you also have Adani Energy Solutions, that's down by 0.5%. Let's also look at Adani Total Gas, Adani Power, Adani Wilmar for that matter, to see how some of these stocks are also opening. 0.25% loss for Adani Total right there. But let's look at ACC and Ambuja, where Gaurang continues to be positive on from the long-term perspective, where the group also has a coverage on that front. About softer trade right now on ACC, Ambuja. But let's read out for all of you viewers the flashes that are coming from Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi's statements that are coming in. So he's talked about that he's not speaking as a spokesperson of Mr. Adani. There are 5 counts of charges in this indictment, but count 1 and count 5 are the more important than others. He's talked about in count 1 and 5 that Mr. Adani and his nephew are not charged under these 2 counts right there. So both Gautam Adani and his nephew, they are saying in count 1 and count 5 are not charged under these counts right there. So what he's also mentioned is that when you look at the charge sheet, you have to be specific to say so and so has done such and such act. The charges that Adanis have bribed Indian entities, but can't single name in which manner they are bribed, which the department say they belong to. Okay, so there are some random flashes that are coming in. We'll try and make sense of it, and we'll come back to you, all you viewers, to give you a sense of what exactly has been said in the press conference. But let's go back to the markets right here. Kiran, to you, right in the opening, where do you find confidence in the markets?
So overall, look at the market. As you mentioned about IT stocks are doing well, and with that, auto stocks, as we discussed, it is also doing well. So definitely, one thing is that another PSU stocks are also doing well. So if you look at the Coal India, if you look at Power Grid NTPC, those are looking very good. So specifically, Coal India looks very much promising. We are seeing that 7-8 days consolidation pattern is getting breakout at current market price on intraday price chart. If you can see ascending triangle pattern is also getting breakout. So at current market price 418, one can go long on Coal India with a strict stop loss of 410. And if it is price is holding 418 for first half, then we can expect price target of 440 in 1 or 2 days. So keep an eye on PSU stocks also. It is also looking very good.
Okay, well, okay, one space that we haven't discussed and we should now is the defense space with Gaurang. Cochin Shipyard shares are opening about 5% higher in trade. Remember, yesterday also we did see sharp momentum across the board on Garden Reach, on Mazagon Dock, on HALBL, which have been in momentum for the last few days. And Gaurang, things coming back for the defense space. Would you say that the worst is now behind for the entire sector right now? And, you know, the confidence that you've always displayed on the defense stock as a long-term growth story, does that stay intact? And at this point in time, where would you advise investors to put in their money?
Well, Sakshi, for me, I don't think that the defense universe was in some kind of difficulty, to be very honest. It was just that there was a minor blip of profit booking. When you look at companies on the fundamental side, then you don't give too much of importance to the short-term noise pollution that is there around. You are focused on your thought process and your approach. So a disclosure, prudent one to give. Cochin Shipyard, we had given, it wasn't a review when we spoke last, Sakshi, and I refrained to make any comments. I think yesterday or day before yesterday, my team has come out with a buy report on Cochin Shipyard. 1600 kind of levels are the targets that we have set aside. Of course, uh, last yesterday and today, I think the stock is up 5%, 10%. So if you are investing in Cochin Shipyard, you can continue to invest. I would not be very specific in terms of buy, sell, and hold, but I would just say this that just 3 months, 6 months of profit booking does not mean that the fundamentals are out of the window for the defense sector. And if you are investing in defense sector, then I have said this earlier and I'll say this again. Have 3 to 5 years kind of time horizon. If you really want to, I'm not talking about creating value. I'm talking about creating wealth. And when you want to create wealth, if you are invested in good sound stock in the defense universe, then please give it 3 to 5 years if you have the time by your side.
Okay, got that. Let's understand from Kiran also. Kiran, as a trading perspective, any defense stock that you'd look at?
So trading perspective, Cochin shipyard is on our radar. Reason being, if you look at the daily price chart, it has given a breakout from its falling wedge, number one. With that, multiple positive divergences are available on daily price chart. And if you look at the current market price, it is forming a rounding bottom pattern. It is again a bullish reversal pattern. So multiple bullish reversal pattern as we are witnessing on daily price chart. So one can go long at on Cochin shipyard at current market price or any dips towards 1450, 1460. Keep a very strict stop loss below 1400. And if this reversal works, then we can expect price target of 1600 in very short time. So Cochin shipyard looks very promising.
Okay, Cochin Shipyard would look very promising at this point in time. The other space let's shift focus to is the auto space that's been among the top movers today in among sectors, 0.3% higher, and you have stocks like M&M and Tata Motors among those which are actually outperforming within the Nifty right now. Gaurang, coming to you, JP Morgan has initiated an coverage on Hyundai with an overweight rating right there. M&M has done these new EV launches. BE EV model is where it is focusing on, which is coming at an attractive price right there. So it's now addressing the shortcomings in the EV space right here. This is what most of the brokerage houses also believe for M&M. Then you also have Ola Electric now coming out with a slew of new scooter launches on that front. How should one be navigating this entire EV space and the focus of marquee players on this space right now? Where would you keep your preference?
Yeah, I think it was quite a curtain raiser last evening for M&M,
Yes.
causing their two new babies in terms of the EV segment and the venture going forward from here. And I wish them well. I wish them all the best. And I'm quite sure you're going to see a lot of new EV related launches at various platforms. So we remain positive on the entire auto pack, barring names like JBM Auto and Escorts Kubota.
Okay.
On JBM, we don't have a coverage. Escorts Kubota, the last that I remember, Sakshi, our targets were in place, and hence we had given a profit booking kind of advice
Okay.
uh, on the fundamental side. And we still maintain a sell or book profits on Escort Kubota. Now, coming to the three-wheeler, two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, commercial as well as agri equipments. So we maintain positive. We had a coverage on the IPO note on Hyundai as well as Ola. We had given a subscribe recommendation on both. Uh, and we still maintain. Okay, one thing is there, Sakshi, that now,
Sure.
we are virtually at the fag end of November. December being the last month in the calendar year, you are going to see discounts being offered to clear off the
Yes.
inventory.
Yes.
So that might be a little bit of short-term overhang, but for a long term, I think next year is going to be very interesting for the auto pack.
Okay. Kiran, to you. Targets for M&M from the four-wheeler space and from the two-wheelers, Ola Electric. How would you trade these two?
Look at it, Mahindra and Mahindra. The overall consolidation pattern we are expecting to get is breakout. Reason being, recently whatever the corrections are happened, most of the stock went below its 200 days moving average. But if you look at the M&M price chart, it has just retested its 100 days moving average, and now it is back above its 20, 50, and 100 days moving average. So that is the inherent strength already into the M&M. So one can go long at M&M at current market price. We already seeing double bottom pattern getting breakout at current market price. Overall chart patterns looks very much promising. Keep a strict stop loss of 2900, and based on double bottom pattern, we can definitely expect price target of 3250 to 3300 in 2 months. So M&M definitely one can go long. Ola, one should wait. I preferred. It is better. You can go other two-wheeler space like in Hero MotoCorp we just discussed. Because on Ola, as of now, the resistance we are seeing, so conditional buy would be there unless and until Ola is not crossing 84, 85 level. We are just wait and watch kind of a mode. So as of now, at current market price, we are not expecting to go long. But anyone is holding this particular stuff, they can keep a strict stop loss below 68.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as the auto space is concerned. Again, circling back to the Adani stocks. Why? Because India Ratings is now the third ratings agency that's put Adani Green's long-term rating outlook on a negative watch right there. So remember, it was Fitch in the early morning of yesterday, and then we saw Moody's in the afternoon, and now it's India Ratings, which is also creating its list of stocks within the Adani group on the negative watch list as well. We'll keep an eye out on that. But all the stocks right now are seeming to open, gathering some pace within the Adani group. 2.2% higher for Adani Enterprises, over 2% uptick even for Adani Green. Adani Ports now up by 1.2%, and this is all after Mukul Rohtgi has been talking about some of the statements right there, where he's indicated that billionaire Gautam Adani and his nephew Sagar Adani have not been charged with any violations of US Foreign Corrupt Practices Act, that's the FCPA, in the indictment filed by the US authorities. And what he's also mentioned is that even Vineet Jain has only Gautam Adani, the founder of the Ports to Energy conglomerate, Sagar Adani and Vineet Jain have been charged by the US Department of Justice and not by US FCPA right there. So there are some statements that will continue to pour in, which we will continue to share with you, all you viewers right there. But let's look at some of the real estate stocks right there, which have been on an up move. And I wanted to bring up Prestige Estates. The stock is down in trade. Remember, Morgan Stanley has cut the target price by 15% right here. But across the board, we've actually been seeing macro tech developers, DLF, Godrej Properties as the ones that have been winning so far. Gaurang, your own sense on the real estate pack right now? Are you preferring to put in fresh funds here, or do you think enough is moved already?
Also, long term, again, positive on the entire pack. Shobha Limited is the stock where we have changed our rating from sell to accumulate with target of 1,800 plus. On Prestige Estates, we are maintaining our positive stance from a long-term point of view. And, the fact still remains, Sakshi, that the place where you are in Delhi, in and around NCR, Noida, we've seen projects worth, I think, price tags of 4, 5, 6, 7 crores getting sold off within a day or two. Yes. And there are many more launches according to the companies which operate in that particular geography. Have said that in the next year or two, you're going to have many projects getting launched of high ticket size.
Sure.
Now, fast forward Bombay, where I operate from. The biggest problem, Sakshi, and you've been in Bombay a couple of times, is the land parcel. We don't have enough land. So you have government has been given a thumping majority very recently. And this state government is pro infrastructure creation. Very recently, they had changed certain policies which are actually big hurdles for the real estate sector in getting approvals, etc. And you have, and Bombay, in Mumbai, whether it is western suburb, eastern suburb, harbour line, or central Mumbai or south Mumbai, there are a lot of ground plus 2, ground plus 3 structures which were created way back 1940, 1950, 1960, and they are in dilapidated condition. And in Mumbai, there are a lot of, tenants in terms of Pagdi system that we have in Mumbai.
Yeah.
So that created a lot of kind of, redevelopment issues and, reinforcing the building. But now the government has said, okay, you can do cluster redevelopment wherein you can bring in 2, 3 buildings in the same locality nearby and create a new building over there, redevelop over there. So old societies are going in for redevelopment. Buildings which are larger plot size are also going for. So it's redevelopment is a huge, huge theme. And the place where I stay in Mumbai, I can assure you, Sakshi, there are almost about 40 odd projects of redevelopment which are going on, which contributes to the environment in terms of smoggy mornings, etc., etc.
Correct. Right. I know you have to leave, Gaurang, but before we let you go, NTPC Green, that's going to be listing today from the IPO space. What is it that you've advised all the clients of Jojit, and post the listing? What is the kind of stance that investors should be looking at? It's definitely a story that is worth looking at from the long-term perspective. Do you think what NTPC has managed to do in the power space, renewable energy, NTPC Green will be continuing to do so and even better?
Well, so Sakshi, 102, 108 price band. We had given a subscribe to NTPC Green at 108. We have positive coverage on NTPC also. Let me give you a disclosure. Quite excited about the entire power generation, power transmission, power equipment space. We club all these three together as a sectorial allocation. It is going to turn out to be one of the largest green energy generating companies, as it has mentioned in terms of their overall capacity, which is there, and what is going to come up in the next 3 to 5 years. Uh, they announced a new project or a JV with Maharashtra, if I'm not mistaken. I hope the listing goes well. I will not comment about short-term or listing gains because I'm not capable of doing that, Sakshi. So I leave it to the market players to decide on that. But I'm sure this one is going to be quite an interesting new listing. And the valuation, we feel the valuation of 102 to 8 was fair enough.
All right, Gaurang, thank you so much for all that view and sharing all those insights, and appreciate your presence always on Business Today and on Market Today as well. Hope you have a fantastic time till the time we meet you next very soon on another edition of Market Today. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Sakshi.
We have
Apologies, I
Kiran
joined
with
in
us,
late.
viewers.
Sorry.
We have Kiran with us, and we will continue our discussion with him now, viewers. A lot of names that have further garnered momentum. Look at the broader markets, and I will read out a few names. Fed Bank Financial Services is at a 20% circuit. That's moved up pretty swiftly in trade today, and it's hit that 20% circuit. Talbros Auto, after winning that order, is now up by about 14.5%. You have Jai Bharat Maruti again from the auto ancillary space that's moving up. Roto Pumps from the irrigation auto space that's also moving up as well. Sagility India is up by 7% after those earnings. It's been on a constant move. KEI Industries is up by 7% as well. Then you have names like Tilak Nagar Industries, that's up by 6%. You have stocks like Acme Solar again, a recently listed stock that's been continuously on the up move. Sula Vineyards is also on the move. So I believe the liquor space is also garnering some pace right now. Broader markets particularly, Kiran, for you, what are you keeping an eye out on? Any key names that have come up?
So overall, as we discussed, that stock-specific movement will be continue, and one should focus on that only. So look at Nifty 500 charts. If you look at the Nifty 500 chart, there was a gap up opening on Monday, and it is keep holding that gap. So unless and until Nifty 500 is not breaking below 22,500, 22,400, this kind of a madness in cash stocks will continue. So as of now, auto ancillaries good looks. Already we are very much bullish on auto. So auto ancillaries pre-cam, one can look into the eye. If you look at the daily price chart, it was into the consolidation zone. Now pre-cam getting back out of that consolidation zone. Clear cut rounding bottom pattern is getting breakout with the volume. So one can look at the pre-cam at current market price trading at 310. One can go along with the strict stop loss below 295, and one can expect price target of 340, 350 in very short time. So pre-cam looks very good. Another stock that is Varun Beverages. If you look at the Varun Beverages daily price chart, as of now, it is not holding its high where it is open, but stock price is trading above or near its 100 days and 200 days moving average. It has already given a breakout from its falling trend line and retesting again. So until and unless prices is not breaking below 600 price, one can go long on Varun Beverages as current market price also. If 600 is not getting breakdown, then there are very good chances we can expect price target of 650, 670 in upcoming time. So definitely auto ancillaries and this kind of FMCG stock one can look at.
The broader markets are concerned. Within the Nifty Next 50 also, of course, the Adani Group stocks are something which are buzzing. Adani Power up 2.5%, Adani Energy Solutions, Adani Total Gas, Adani Green, anywhere between 1.5 to 2.5% odd kind of moves can be seen. But even Siemens is up by 4.5% higher. Zomato is now further picking up pace, 285 nearly. Let's discuss this one. It's interesting to note. Zomato, particularly Kiran, how are you really looking at it at this point in time? It's been garnering pace and it's come back after a recent dip also pretty strongly. But at this point also, would you say that it is a buy at 285 odd levels?
So look at the Zomato price chart. Definitely one can go long. Reason being a big rounding bottom pattern or a consolidation pattern breakout we can visible on the daily price chart. With that, if you look at the intraday price chart, stock price was not below 200 days moving average. As we discussed about same thing in M&M also. It's an inherent strength during that last month where we are seeing a correction of more than 11% on Nifty, and such kind of a stock is not going below 10% also. It's an inherent strength at current market price. So one can go long on Zomato based on the current chart pattern and the breakout of rounding bottom pattern. Keep a very strict stop loss below 270, and looking at the chart pattern, definitely one can expect price target of 320, 340 in upcoming time.
Okay, got that. So that's the view that's coming in on Zomato. Remember, viewers, we've also got some news saying that according to some of the brokerage houses right there, it's Swiggy's Instamart, which is right now perhaps ahead of the others in the quick commerce space in terms of the timing of the delivery. 8 minutes is what Swiggy has got, whereas the others are still, at 9, 10 odd minutes or plus minutes forward from here. But even Swiggy is also moving up smartly in trade today, 3.2% higher. So this space is continuously going to be interesting to watch for all the viewers right there. But clearly, just about very few specific sectors which are holding up. Only auto and IT, Nifty Next 50 and the small caps that are holding on to some gains. Bharat Electronics has now moved to the top spot, 1.6% higher in trade. Within the defense pack, HAL and BL have been consistently growing strong. Day after day, they are building onto the gains right now. Would you continue to stick with these two names versus the shipbuilder names right now in defense? How are you advising investors how to pick the defense stocks at this point?
See, when we discuss about the Cochin shipyard or any other, so there are two ways. A port section is also there and defense sector is also there. Where discuss about the HL or a BEML or BHEL, then again, it is very concentrated bet towards the defense only. So it is better you have a diversified kind of a stock rather than only go with the defense. Now, if still anyone wants to bet on defense only, then between HL and BEML, we would prefer BEML at current market price, because if you look at the HL price, it is a steadily trading into the falling channel, whereas BEML has given a very steep corrections. After that, it went into the consolidation with the horizontal trend line. So generally in technical thing we discuss, or we always like a stock which are into the consolidation zone, flat horizontal lines, which is exactly on BEML. So one can go long on BEML if price is crosses is 200 and 100 is moving average. One can expect a very furious price actions towards 48, 4900.
Jait Malani. Yes. Yes.
So BML looks very promising.
Please continue. Continue, Kiran.
Yeah. So looking at BEML, one can go long at current market price with a strict stop loss below 3900, and if 4000 is held, then we can expect price target of 46, 4700 at current market price. Now coming to the HAL, it has also given a breakout from its falling channel. Stock price now above its 200 is moving average also. So definitely one can go long on HL at current market price. It's a trading bet only. Keep a very strict stop loss below 4200, and we can expect price target of 47, 4800 for sure. So HL and BML both are can go long, but BML would be the preferred choice.
Right. Okay. Got that. Kiran, apart from this, let's also focus on a few other stocks. Within the entire small cap basket right there, which are picking up for the pace. So let's look at the small cap space particularly. Okay, so this space is interesting. I wanted to also discuss the telecom space with you, Kiran. Tata Tele is also again for the second day in a row sharply higher by about 4.5%. Let's look at the other stocks like Vodafone Idea. Again, it's on the move as far as the F&O space is concerned today. Vodafone Idea is up by about 3 odd percent. Then let's also look at stocks like Indus Towers, for that instance, Bharti Airtel. The entire space was in thick momentum even in yesterday's trading session as well. Some buzz is continuing even in trade today. Just wanted to get a sense. Of course, there are developments right here as to whether the bank guarantee waivers will take shape, who will it benefit the most. But within the telecom space, are you finding any technical moves that one should be tracking right now, Kiran?
So looking at Tata Tele or Vodafone Idea, it is better to bet on Bharti Airtel. The reason being, if you look at the daily price chart, stock price has a very good support at 1500, number one. Number two, recently stock price has also formed its bullish harmonic pattern, which is a reversal pattern. And you can also see a falling channel breakout on Bharti Airtel with reversal, positive reversal candlesticks pattern. So multiple factors it's available on Bharti Airtel. So definitely we would like to go long on Bharti Airtel rather than on Vodafone or maybe Tata Tele Services. So look at the Bharti Airtel current market price. One can go long at 1560 or any dips towards 1520. Keep a very strict stop loss below 1500 and you wait for 2-3 months. Again, you can expect price target of 1700 for sure. So Bharti Airtel looks very much promising.
Okay, got that. Bharti Airtel looks promising. From the F&O space, Kiran, anything that looks attractive right now? We have Gujarat Narmada Valley Fertilizers that's jumping about 6.5% odd or so. You have Siemens again, Vodafone Idea, of course, the Adani stocks, and then Coal India, which you've already discussed before. Some of these stocks are actually rallying. What looks good within the F&O space particularly?
So in F&O space, if you look at, as we discussed about PSU theme in Coal India also, but one stock which we would like to highlight, that is PEL in F&O space. Yesterday it has given a very big move. So we would not like to chase this particular stock, but any dips towards 1150, 1160 would be the great buy. Stock price is giving a fresh breakout and we are expecting price target of 13-1400 in upcoming time. So PEL look very much promising. Definitely one can look at PEL. And another stock which is PVR Inox. If you look at the PVR Inox chart, stock price is consolidating near 200 days moving average. And next week there is a big awaited movie is also coming. So that fundamental tailwinds is also there. So one can look at the PVR at current market price. Keep a very strict stop loss below 1400 and we can expect price target of 1600 for sure. So PVR and PEL would be the great.
All right. Well, we'll thank you, Kiran, on that note for being with us on the show and discussing with us various pockets and various strategies on sectors and stocks right there for all our viewers. And thank you so much for giving your time with us on Market Today. Hope you have a fantastic time. Till the time, we see you next very soon on Business Today. All right, viewers, what we'll do is we'll quickly also keep you updated with what's happening as far as the Adani group is concerned. All the stocks are actually up into the green, and this is after former Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi's statements coming in on Adani Group. And we also have senior advocate Mahesh Jethmalani talking on our press conference just a few minutes ago, where he did talk about how indictment does not talk about any bribery in India, allegation only. There was a conspiracy to bribe. There is no evidence of infraction of law in India. That's what they have said. Coming to indictment, they are saying no offence is alleged in the indictment against any of the Adanis or even on the Adani Green Company. Now, he's saying is that the whole issue is about issuing of bonds by Adani Green. The allegation, the alleged violation is that bonds were issued without informing bondholders that there were violations in India. The case is that you induced people in India to subscribe to these bonds. Not a single piece of evidence, nor has Congress given as to any infraction of Indian law. That is what Mr. Jethmalani is saying. He's also mentioned that indictment does not talk about any bribery in India. It only says there was a conspiracy to bribe. There is no violation of Foreign Corruption Prevention Act in India. Neither Gautam Adani or any of the other Adanis or Adani Green has been cited in that space. The allegation is only that there was an intent to bribe. In India, there is no activity right now in conspiracy alleged. Also, there is no evidence as to why there is a conspiracy. So, this is a judicial order on indictment, and he said that he does not know what evidence the court has really acted upon right there. So, those are the statements that are coming in, and therefore, you will see some positives across the Adani Green stocks as of now. But let's quickly look at the pre-opening trade. Where we are going to be seeing NTPC Green, which will be now our focus at 10 a.m. NTPC Green will be listing itself, and that's something that we should be watching out for. We still do not have any pre-indicative data as to find out what is the kind of listing that we could expect right there, but we will be back within just about 7 minutes or so with a new show, viewers, on NTPC Green to take you through the live listing of NTPC Green. We will also be joined by experts on the panel to help you understand how you should be really approaching this newly listed company. So stay tuned with us. We'll be back in a jiffy. Ramesh ji, how have you assessed the developments over the last few days on the Adani Group right now? There are further statements coming in from all the partner investors, from even the state governments now, which are mulling as to whether they should be rewarding the contracts that have been earlier talked about to Adani. In case that happens, as the reports are indicating, then will it be a long-term negative for the group right now? Because